Oh, I get the name now, Zeboid, because the it's like part of the last name of one of the guys and part of the last name of the other guy, and they put them together. I gotta say, the team did a great job, especially because there were so very few of them. Thanks, Darv. There were so very few of them, so that's pretty cool that they were able to make this entire game. I mean, the quality is just insane for only 2 people. And then you have like a bunch of Patreons, obviously, the people that got into it and like financed the game. What I really think like shines above everything else, like the art was great, but what I think shines above everything else, like the one thing I'll remember most fondly I think about the game is the freaking music. It's so good, really good. Dude, look at a number of backers. Felt like I was playing like an 80s Blade Runner kind of, like, it's, oh man, seriously, they nailed it. The music really gives the entire game the like the vibe it has. Like, change the music and it's a different vibe altogether. Listen to that, man, that's so good. Look at Sue, he's got so many scars now. I was thinking the emote you had there, Darth. I couldn't figure out what it was. I realized it was a dude, but I didn't realize who it was. I gotta say, story was great. The character, like the character design was great. The character art was fantastic. In fact, the entire art of the game was great. I feel like the pacing was kind of all over the place. Some chapters, especially chapter 10, kind of like I can't even remember what chapter 10 was. That was how quick it was. Some chapters were super long, some chapters were super short. Difficulty was all over the place as well. Like super hard and then suddenly super easy. Like weird decisions sometimes about the difficulty, like the way it's scaled and stuff. Like I was playing an Heroine and I didn't farm. Like, I didn't actually farm anything. Like, there's a way for you to farm. Like, every time you do a fight, you can redo that fight right after having done it by selecting battle in the menu, which allows you to like kind of, well, farm monsters essentially. So you just like repeat you could technically repeat every single fight except I think boss fights. So that would give you like tons of XP. You could probably crank the levels way higher, but by not doing that even, and by playing on arrow in difficulty, some fights were really hard and some of the fights were stupid easy, and just by completing every side quest that I could find and every side bosses that I could find and stuff, and equipping just the best gear I could get my hands on, the last bosses were a cakewalk, like literally a cakewalk, not even anywhere close to being hard. In fact, the optional bosses that you fight before the last boss, like Cthulhu and the skeleton guy and the pit monster and all those people, like they were a lot harder to fight. In fact, the dragon that you have to fight, the mech dragon that you have to fight in the last on chapter 13, right before ending to the final boss, was harder than the final boss. So yeah, like difficulty scaling was all over the place, pacing was all over the place, but the story, the characters, the dialogues, all the tongue-in-cheek stuff, all the references to other games, to other movies. The map design was great. The length was okay. I feel like the length could have been better. It could have lasted longer. Feels like they had opportunities here to make like tons of bounties, tons of like the bounty system is really weird. Like you finally get access to the bounties, and when I did, it was like chapter 11 or so, and then I only had one bounty to do, so I did it, and that was it. They kept saying to go into the thing, like they kept saying like, oh, go to the thing, go to the bar, the arcade on Araenu, and you'll be able to recruit people. I never was able to get into it. Every time I got to it, they always said you can't enter because we don't have time right now to play games. So I don't know if there were people I could recruit in there for the ship or not, but like I never could get in there ever. And like, yeah, the length, like it seems like they had like a cool system where you could have had more different planets. In fact, the biomes were very similar. Like instead of getting like an ice planet maybe, or like a desert planet, or like all kinds of different things, we got 2 jungle planet with different sprites, different style of jungles, but overall there were 2 jungle planets. And then we got obviously a city. So we didn't get like a whole lot of variety there. I'm assuming it was probably easier for them to just like, especially because they were so understaffed. But it really feels like if they're able to make a sequel, let's say this made enough money and they're able to maybe like do a Kickstarter and try to increase the size of their team and make a sequel to this. I would love to see like more variety of planets, but also I would love to see more planets, period. I feel like having the ship and being able to travel around is pretty great. I feel like it would have been even cooler if we had access to more than 3 planets. Like let's say like, I don't know, 5 or 6 planets would have been fantastic. But like the length of the planet themselves are great. Like I just needed more of it. But like I felt like every time we left the planet, we were basically done. It was cool to go back to it once in a while just to do like side quests and stuff. But once we were gone, so that was great. There was a lot of bugs, lots of crashes, like lots of bugs that just literally locked up the game, so I couldn't do anything anymore. And the only way I had to fix it was to close the game. So I shouldn't say crashes. It was more like I was stuck, and the only way to do anything was to leave. So save often. If you play this game, guys, do save often. You have to. Yeah, you'll need it. Also, speaking of difficulty, it was kind of weird because like I tried starting the game with the hardest difficulty possible, which is almost impossible to do. Unless there's a new game plus, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Can I continue? Okay, let's see. New game. Yeah, so Super Spy. seems like that one would have been a good difficulty. The problem is it's like almost impossible to start the game with Super Spy. Like the first fight in Super Spy is like almost impossible to win just because of the way the game is done. So you kind of have to almost start on another difficulty and then crank it up. I should have maybe cranked it up to Super Spy once I beat Cthulhu, just to have like a little bit of a harder time in the final area. But yeah. So again, it feels weird because I can't even imagine playing in Taurus or Agent. Honestly, like, these two must be stupid easy. Because it was really easy most of the time on Heroine difficulty. Like, very rarely did I have a challenge. So I can't even imagine Taurus and Agent. Like, I honestly feel like Heroine difficulty should have been normal. They could have been like, they could have had like Agent could be easy, Heroine could be normal. They could have had like a one in between Super Spy and Heroine, and then with Super Spy. I also feel like Super Spy isn't balanced at all for all the parts of the game. Like I said, like it's almost like you're supposed to play on another difficulty and then crank it up to Super Spy on certain bosses and stuff to have like an extra challenge. Because like I said, the beginning of the game on Super Spy is like almost impossible. I wasted an hour when we started playing the game almost, just like trying to beat even the first fight, and I couldn't do it. Now maybe that I know the game better, maybe I could, but like it's weird. It's really weird. It doesn't feel like it's supposed to be that way. Also, you like I said, maybe there's a new game plus. Like I don't know. Let's try and get in there. No, there's no new game plus. Unless maybe I do this. No, it boots the game. It starts a new game. So there's no new game plus. See, like Super Heroine difficulty, I feel like would have been great on a new game plus. I feel would have been fantastic. I feel like that would have been perfect even. So because then you start up, you have a super hard difficulty, and you go from like level 60 and you try to reach level 99 or something, and then you know like just every fight you do, everything you do, it's just that much harder. And so yeah, I feel like a new game plus would have been fun. But yeah, overall, I strongly recommend this game. It was super fun, fairly short, so you don't have to worry about spending like 60 hours through it. It took us like 17 hours, almost 18 hours to complete on Heroine difficulty. So if you even try to play on like Agent or Tourists, that game must be so short, so incredibly short. And yeah, other than that. I mean, it was super cheap. So if you want to grab it for the Switch or even the PC, I think on the Switch even it was like $14. I think PC is like $10, or around that. Like it's very, very cheap. Like it's not even like expensive. So you totally could grab this game and just have fun playing it and stuff. So yeah, do support the devs. And yeah, it was a cool experience. I'm really looking forward to see what the hell they release afterwards. Apparently they released a game before this one. I don't think it's part of the same universe. I think it's its own thing. But people are saying that Cosmic Star Heroine is basically an upgraded, like they improved on everything in this game versus the first one. I don't even know what the first one is, so I would have to check that out. But yeah, I hope